Bella said. He nodded and touched the rim of his steel helmet. Right you are, then. Bella turned to Frankie. Here we go again? Outside, they slipped into a well-rehearsed routine, taking stretchers out of the back of the ambulance and hurrying over to the casualties, ready to quickly assess them. Their job was to provide basic first aid and get them to hospital, where they could be properly treated. Always, they had to make sure their patient was as comfortable, warm and secure as they could make them. Hello, I'm Bella. She knelt beside an old woman who was coated in a thick layer of grey dust, making her look like a ghost. She was shivering, despite the blanket draped over her, not surprisingly, as it was a cold night. Bella felt cold herself, despite wearing her greatcoat, scarf and gloves. But my husband, have they found him yet? The old woman asked, her voice croaky with dust. I'm not sure, but the rescue workers are searching right now, Bella reassured her. What's your name? Joyce. Joyce Stevens. Well, Joyce, I just need to check you over to see if you've broken anything, and we'll get you in the ambulance tucked up with some hot water bottles to warm you up. Do you hurt anywhere? Me ankle. Bella gently felt her ankle and could tell that it was broken. She felt along the rest of her limbs, but apart from scratches, bruises and the broken ankle, Joyce had come out of the bombed house relatively unscathed. Right, I'm going to sort your ankle out so it'll be more comfortable while we get you to hospital, all right? Bella took some bandages and splints out of her bag and carefully arranged and secured them around Joyce's ankle. There you are. That should keep it from moving around. She took a label out of her bag and started to fill in the details ready for the hospital to use. Joyce's name and address, time of incident and type of injury. Then she secured it to a button on the older woman's cardigan. That's so they know who you are and what you've been up to. Thank you, Ducks, Joyce said. After Frankie helped her move Joyce onto a stretcher, Bella swapped the blanket over for one of the ambulance service blankets and then secured the straps around her to stop her falling off when they moved her. Right, you're all tucked in and ready to go in the ambulance as soon as my crewmate's ready. She looked over to where Frankie was attending to another casualty, going through the same routine, checking, treating and labelling, ready for the hospital. You nearly done, Frankie? Bella called over to her. Frankie looked up and nodded. You'll have a look for my Herbert, won't you? Joyce asked, pulling her hand out from under the blanket and grabbing hold of Bella's arm. Of course I will. We'll just get you safely into the ambulance and then I'll ask. Bella looked up at the ARP man who'd just come over from where the rescue workers were digging out more casualties and must have heard what Joyce had said. He looked at Bella and gave the slightest shake of his head, the meaning painfully clear. They'd now found Joyce's husband, but the outcome wasn't good. He was dead. Bella nodded at him and swallowed hard. She couldn't tell her. Now was not the time or place. Ready? Frankie said, coming over. Shall we take this lady first? She smiled at Joyce. Bella nodded and went to the head of the stretcher and took hold of the handles. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Together, she and Frankie carried Joyce into the ambulance, where she tucked some hot water bottles in beside her to warm her up. After they'd loaded in 3 other casualties, and while Frankie made the final preparations in the back of the ambulance before they left, Bella hurried over to the ARP man to check that she'd got the right message. Did they find Joyce's husband? He nodded. Yes, poor fella's gone. Nothing any of us can do for him now. He nodded to where some bodies lay, shrouded in blankets. Joyce's husband clearly hadn't been the only one killed here tonight. Bella shook her head. Poor Joyce. They'd been married for nearly 50 years, the ARP man said. They was going to have a celebration in the Blue Flag next week. My missus and me were going. He sighed and shrugged. You better get to hospital. They'll look after her, and I'll go and see her in the morning. Tell her what happened. Back at the ambulance, Bella checked in the back.